And ladies and gentlemen, welcome. These are my top 10 predictions of 2020. What will work and what will not work in the expert industry in 2020. Now, as you can see, our industry is evolving incredibly fast at a very fast pace. Has been growing incredibly for the past few years, and the trends are that it will keep growing. But with the growth of the industry and the more mature an industry is, things are changing. Technology is evolving really fast, and what was working a few years ago now is not working anymore. So what I want to explore in this video, or if you're listening to the podcast, is what is gonna work in 2020 based on the trends that are happening right now at the very moment. I'm obsessed about looking at trends. I love this industry. I studied this industry from the inside out. I've been in this industry for the past 8 years, and I've been living and breathing it since I found it. And that's why I want to share with you my obsession. So enjoy my obsession here. So there are in particular 10 things that I know for sure they will work in 2020. And other that will stop working. So let's start from the beginning. The first one is conversations over automation. Now, 2019 has been an incredible year, in particular where there were a lot of platforms like messenger bots or automated chats that really went mainstream and not just for bigger businesses. And with that, it also created an automation culture. So, which is what can I automate? In particular, when you're scaling up or you're a bit tech savvy, is all becoming about a conversation in 2019 has been how can I remove as much personal touch as possible to put automation that feels like personal touch. But as you know, like this industry goes in cycles. So if, for example, before something automated was new, now is becoming the norm. In particular, I'm talking about specifically in our industry, not other industries. And people are getting tired of it. And right now, in fact, what works the most, that's also what social media platforms are promoting, what the emails campaign that work the most are campaigns that encourage a conversation over automation. So now is about, if you're selling higher ticket items, not like the 10, 15, 20 pound or dollar product. If you want to sell higher ticket item, is more about putting that personal touch inside the automation. So combining it, but having the automation that leads to having that personal touch with a very qualified lead. And that's where the game is going to change. So the people that are going to have and put more personal touch inside their campaigns, inside their marketing, inside everything they do, they are going to be the people that are going to be the winners in this industry next year. And guys, if you have any question or any comment, feel free to leave a comment below. I will love to engage with you on that. So that's number one, the conversation over automation. The second one is relationship over conversion. Now, our industry has a name for being very cutthroat at some point, in particular because we are looking at a very short-term cycle from when someone hears from us to a conversion. So a lot of time the mindset that I hear being promoted is in this industry is what is that I can get out of my clients immediately on the first point of interaction, which there is nothing wrong with that, but it also has the risk of getting a lot of non-qualified people in your funnel or in your products and services, and as well people that are not right or people that will be very annoyed by that cycle and by that sales cycle. So now the time for purchasing, in particular higher ticket programs, because there is so much choice, then is much longer. So therefore, a relationship is what is going to be the game changer. because the people that are going to invest more time, money, and resources in building a relationship with someone, not just in having that quick conversion, they are the one that will take home the bigger ticket items or the bigger ticket clients. And of course, there is a place for that immediate conversion. Is really important to get that first sale straight away, but it is also important to see, am I doing this at risk of this person not buying something bigger from me or having a bad experience from me? So relationship is going to be the key for 2020. And I can tell you that in the past few years, we were immediately like going for conversion. And we had situations where we ended up working with the wrong client just because we were really good at selling, really good at closing, but we skipped the part of building relationship. And to find out, in particular, if you're looking at a longer term relationship with a client, is this the right client for you? It's not talking about video program, audio program, membership site, that's fine. But when you're working intensively more with someone on a higher ticket program or in a curating a community, which is going to be a part of the next points, then things are changing. You gotta have the right people in place, otherwise they can ruin your entire business. We had experiences this year where we had literally to fire clients because they were... I had moments where literally for the first time in my life in the past 8 years, I woke up one night with a nightmare of a client, and I said, no, I like having a client session, and that was a nightmare. And I woke up with palpitations, and I was like, no, that's no. It's my business. I decide what I want to do or not. So I'm never gonna put myself back in this situation. So remember that. Relationship over conversion. I'm not saying to neglect conversions though. Like at some point you gotta ask for the sale, but make sure that you build the relationship and you invest time, money, and resources in building that relationship to convert more effectively. Not saying just build the relationship for the sake of building a relationship and not ask for the money. That doesn't work, all right? Let's move to the third one, which is a longer sales cycle for coaching and consulting. Now, in 2020, because this industry is growing so much and so fast, there are a lot of coaches, speakers, trainers that are coming out year after year, and the number is increasing. So this industry is becoming more crowded compared to 8 years ago when I started in. It's becoming more competitive. It's more difficult to get clients because there is more choice. Therefore, the sales cycle goes back to the point of relationship. It gets longer because people have more choice and can evaluate. Of course, there are always going to be the people that are looking for, that have the need right now. They are jumping on a webinar, buying the program, buying the service. But I'm focusing on the higher ticket items. A longer relationship, there will be more time allowed for people to make that decision and to make that buying decision. So a lot of actually part of your sales work is going to be done at the marketing level to pre-qualify and build so much relationship with that person. So then when they jump on a call with you or they attend your webinar or they attend your seminar, then they're saying, yes, I want to buy and I'm buying right now. But if you're selling something higher without having a lot of credibility in your field or without having an audience, it becomes very, very more and more difficult. So make sure that you account that there is going to be a longer sales cycle. And as well, plan the fact that the work that you're going to do now will pay off 3, 6, 12 months from now because of the longer sales cycle. Now, I always had people coming to me and say, oh, Simone, I've been following you for the past 2 years and now I want to work with you. And that's brilliant. But be aware that this is going to become more and more the norm on the fact that, in particular, on the higher ticket coaching, on the higher ticket items, people will want to see you for a while, will want to invest in you, will want to maybe buy other products or services and check you out a bit more before making that buying decisions. Therefore, that's where the automation can be a great use, not just for the conversion, but in particular for the building of the relationship and throughout that sales cycle of decision making. So this is I'm talking about in particular longer sales cycle for personal private coaching, private consulting. This is where the sales cycle is longer. We're talking as well about the corporate sector as very similar trends, because one of our companies is delivering sales training for recruitment agencies. And Ben, my business partner, which runs that particular side of the company with Jeff, one of our directors, then they are looking for sometimes 4, 6 to 12 months before getting in to a specific clients to build a relationship, build a rapport. But again, credibility is going to be the deal breaker, which we are going to go to the topic of credibility towards the end of the list. So now we are point number 3, which is the longer sales cycle for coaching is consulting. But then, and I want to say a shout out to Sue. Hey Sue, good to see you. Hey Oliver, Velio, Claire, thank you very much for joining. Give me a whoop whoop in the comment, and if you have any other question, then let me know. Hey Saber, good to see you. So the other part, which is point number 4, is actually there is going to be a shorter sales cycle for resources that save time on digital products. There's been a big trend of people moving away from creating digital product as information products to create resources people can use. Because now informations are everywhere. I can find the same informations that before I had to pay thousands of pounds or dollars on and buy an expensive course. I can find the same one online for free, or watching a YouTube channel of someone, because the content that has been put out there is such a high quality content that I don't have to pay any more for the content. So now we are moving from information to implementation even more. 2019 has been a year already where implementation rule. If you're only selling information without selling like the process and the support of implementation, you're already missing out on a lot of people, because that's what they're looking for. They are overwhelmed by the information that they are receiving. What they want is the active implementation. Now, we started doing active implementation since the beginning of GTeX, about when we started our first course 7 years ago. And then we kept core to it, but we are seeing that there is a trend now for more and more people wanting really it instead of just wanting the information. And that becomes the breaking point. So if you create, for example, like a lower end programs with something can be like a short sale, quick sale, that has a lot of resources already collated for them, where you're doing the groundwork for them, the research work for them, creating templates, creating swipe files, creating things that can be copy and paste or edit, then you are onto something. Because if you're expecting now people to pay you a lot of money for just information, you are only probably going to get the people that either are desperate for it, or you're going to get the people that have already maybe been following you for a while. So no matter what you're going to put out there, they're going to buy. But you're going to miss a larger number of people that they are still evaluating if buying from you or not. So this can become the tipping point. So it will cost more time and more resources. I mean, that's something even that you can outsource, for example, to get people in that way. But it will be much more valuable, because first of all, you will get way more sales straight away. And then secondly, you will get someone that you will solve the biggest problem that people have right now, which is time over I need to learn something else. Let me guys say hi very quickly to Asha Rakhani. Hey, good to see you. Caroline Emil, Suzanne, Chetan, Daniel Brown, Grace Nelson, Aslam, and Marjorie. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Big shout out to you. Give me a whoop whoop here in the comments, so now we can see all your comments. And I can give you a proper shout out during the podcast and during the live. So now we're at point number 4. So there's going to be a shorter sales cycle to digital products that will save time. Create resources for them, create bundles, create things that they can use that it will save them time for your clients to do that themselves. You do it for them, you package it up, it's going to sell like hotcakes in 2020. I can give a shout out actually on this one, on the viral template funnels, on the viral template images. that Katya, a good friend of mine, founder of 20K Nation, has created. That's a brilliant example. I think she had like and she has an audience, but she doesn't have like a huge audience of millions and millions of people. She has a nice audience, but I think she made about like 500 sales in about 2-3 days because she created valuable resources. That's what she did, and she collected these incredible templates. I'm gonna put the link here in the show notes for later, guys. Let me know actually if you want it. Give me a whoop whoop if you want it. I'll send you the link. It's like these 100 templates that can be edited in Canva, and they are incredible. They're brilliant. I checked them out. I bought them. It will save me tons of time. And then she spent, and their team, they spent days to create it. So that saves me days of creating these templates. So you see the dynamic, how that's going to work and how immediate that transaction is going to be. Because you're giving me something that saves me time, I'm going to buy it. And a lot of people will do that in this industry. Big shout out to Katya, which is here. We're just talking about you, Katya. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, so Annabelle, good to see you. My cousin Erica, good to see you. Sharon, thank you for joining. Big shout out to everyone. So we're now going to point number 5, which is audience building over instant sale. Actually, let me put the link, guys, here in the comments of the viral content templates. So then you can see it here. This is my link. If you want to get the viral content templates from Katya, make sure you get them there. As I said, that really saves me a lot of time. And you can see actually what I mean when I mention the fact that it will be the trend, the change of trend in the industry. Okay, so let's move now to point number 5, which is audience building over instant sale. Yes, we talked about relationship, but it's not just about relationship, it's also about building your audience aggressively. Cost of audience building are going to increase. It happened in 2018, the increase in 2019, and now 2020 is not going to change. And because there are going to be even more people fighting for your attention, then investing money on the front end of the funnel, in particular getting known, getting seen, getting out there, building audiences, getting people into your database is going to be your main priority. Because if you don't have those people at the top, you're not going to have clients at the end of the funnel. And of course, there are going to always be people that will buy your higher end product straight away. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the visibility part, the getting known part, the people that are joining your list, your database. For GTeX is going to be our number one focus on building the top end of the funnel. Of course, then you need to convert them and you need to have the systems in place or the contact, the touch points in place for them to buy from you. But if you don't have the people, then you can have all the best systems, the best funnels in place, and nothing is going to happen. And that's one of the biggest problems I saw in 2019 working with a lot of clients. And also one of the things that penalizes us at GTeX because we focused a lot on building infrastructures. We scaled from 4 to 15 team members. We changed some team members as well. So we had to put a lot of infrastructure to make sure that the business could scale in the right way. That took away a big focus on the top of the funnel, on the getting out there, building audiences, and that also reflected in the revenues. So one of the things that we are focusing massively on now that we have all the infrastructures in place is then again to build the top of the audience funnel to get known. So make sure that you focus on audience building over instant sale. Because if you burn that relationship at the first time and you don't offer that value and you don't focus on massively building your audience, then you're going to struggle and you're going to struggle to get the higher end clients as well. So that's my point number 5. So for those of you that just joined, I want to say shout out to Guna. Hey, a big shout out to Wang, the one and only. Now, For those of you that just joined, I'm going to do a quick recap of the 5 points because we are halfway through. We still have 5 more to go, and I might step in a bonus one just because I'm that nice. Number 1, conversation over automation. Number 2, relationship over conversion. Number 3, longer sales cycle for coaching and consulting. Number 4, a shorter sales cycle for resources that will save you time, like digital products. And number 5, audience building over instant sales. So these are the first 5. Give me a whoop whoop if you're all on the same page. And then we are going to move on into the next one, to the next part, which because we are going to point number 6, which is about content. Now, shorter content will work way better on the front end, and long form content will work way better on the back end. What do I mean about that? More people are joining. Follow this reasoning here. More people are joining this industry. This industry is growing. More people are producing content, and so now everyone, the time that we have available to consume that amount of content, to choose which one to listen to, is less time. So what I want to know in the first hand, if I'm knowing you and seeing you for the first time, I'm not probably going to read a 5,000 blog article or I'm going to watch a 1-hour webinar or I'm going to attend a seminar if I don't know you. Unless I really, really want to learn this stuff, or unless I don't have money and I'm always looking for the free things that are around. But if you're looking at a good client, which might be already like kind of educated client, they're looking around, now they're searching, and if you give me now a blog post of 5,000 words or invite me to a seminar or so on, without having that relationship first, or without showing me first that you know your stuff in a short space of time, I ain't got the time to read or to look for everything else. It's just going to cause me more overwhelm. And a lot more people feel like this in this industry right now in 2020. So the key now here is to repurpose short pieces of content, short, high valuable pieces of content I can consume in 1 minute, 2 minutes or less, that show me immediately from the get-go, you are the real deal. Then I'm going to consume and make the time to consume the longer content. And I'm going to look forward to the longer content because I'm thinking, if your short content is like this, how great is going to be your longer form content? So this is content in terms of giving value, but also you have content to build connection. And that's where we are talking about personal stories, client stories. Stories are going to be always really important to build that connection, because then you can go too far away on the value side and forget to connect, which then they're going to read but they're not going to buy. So remember, you got to have a balance between connecting emotionally and value-based side. So for example, with GTeX, we've been heavy on the value side and less heavy on the connection side. So next year, we're going to create a better balance to look more on a shorter content that connects, and then shorter content that gives value, and then having longer content, long form resources for free to consume on the back end once people are in. And that will work way better because now people will make the time to read their longer resources, and it's not just shooting and treating everyone like they are the same. Does it make sense, everyone? Whoop whoop. Yeah. Cool. Big shout out again to Colin Symington Bailey, Graham Jevan. Thank you, Graham, for joining. Thank you, Colin. And the one and only Elliot K. Elliot K. Woohoo. Thank you for joining, man. Speakers Express. Big shout out. All right. Now we're going to the point number 7. Influencer marketing will be even stronger. Now, when we are talking about influencer marketing, it is using adult people audiences and adult people faces to promote your brand, your content, your services, your products, whatever you're selling. Now, there's been now in the past few years the rise of the personal brand. So personal brands are still going to be very, very, very strong in 2020 because people want to connect with people. And in particular in this social media age, now we are following people's stories. It's like a reality show in our pocket. We are following people's journey, we are following people's businesses, we are following people's products. So influencer marketing is going to still be key. It will give you a lot of great results by paying other people to give you shout outs to their audiences, to promote, to do joint ventures and partnerships, and build your audience, which goes back to point number 5, which is audience building over instant sale. So there is going to be a part of your strategies to grow, and it's going to be focused on audience building and in particular on influencer marketing. Whether you're doing joint venture, whether there is an exchange, whether and get in front of other audiences in this way, whether you are paying to get it access. But this can literally give you that edge, in particular when you need like a short burst of new followers or people following you because you are in the middle of a launch of a product or a service. And so influencer marketing will work even more, and they're going to be, and it will be even more expensive than it was before, because now influencer marketing still new, but is a bit more mature than it was before. So there are going to be deals and agreements to be made. That's something that we're going to look at a lot in 2020. And remember, when I'm talking about influencer, I'm not talking about going with people that have millions and millions of followers, like the top number one authorities in their field. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that have an influence in their niche. They might have a few hundred or few thousand followers, but they love them. They love them, they respect them, they got clients. And so if they recommend something, the other people are going to follow, are going to buy. And these are the people that will be easier to access first if you're not already up there, the number one in your field. But also, it will be the people who is easier to do joint ventures, and it will be also less expensive to start a game with. So remember that look for engagement, look for quality of the customers that they have, look for their reputation that they have, because it might be just like a simple exchange that can be made there, where you're promoting them to their audience, to your audience, they are promoting you to their audience, or there is a joint venture webinar or a joint venture seminar that can be done. That's gonna be huge. That's going to be huge. So actually, if there is one thing to take, focus on joint ventures and partnerships using this type of influencer marketing as well for 2020. It will save you a lot of time and a lot of money, and you will get access already to audiences that are already pre-qualified. Big thing. Yeah? Sounds cool? Yeah, give me a whoop whoop in the comment if you're on the same page here. Looking for your whoop whoop. And in the meanwhile, I want to welcome Susan Douglas to the show. Thank you very much for joining, Susan. Now we're going to point number 8. People looking for communities to belong. We are alone. We feel very lonely. It's a society where everything happens behind a screen. Now there is between people, there is always this filter of a screen between me and you. There is always this screen now. And that will create a lot of problems. It creates a lot of problems in the mental health factor. People feel more lonely, people feel more isolated, and people tend to hide behind the screen not to get out there. But there is a need that people will now try to fulfill, and is this need of belonging. Belong to somewhere that I can see I am part of this, and I'm proud to be part of this. This is my family. And that's where your community comes into place. Now, we grew GTeX with a community being the center point and the focus of the main company. That was why people joined GTeX once they experience it. Is because of the communities. People are incredible. They love to help. They love to support each other. They love to create partnership. They love to be there for each other. And if you're creating this kind of community where people are there for each other, where people they're actively involved in each other's lives and businesses, now people, they're never going to leave you because their friends are there. So it's not just a smart business practice, if you want to use a smart business practice, but it's that moment that's creating and curating that place that gets people to say, I belong here. This is my tribe. This is my community. These are the people that I want to hang around with. These are the people that I want to grow my business with. These are the people I want to grow my life with. And if you're able to curate and create that, man, there is nothing that you become unstoppable. There's nothing gonna stop you. And in 2020, even more, because the more technologically savvy we become, the more isolated we become, because now everything happens with a filter of a screen. So create that space, create that community. We are going to focus even more on the community aspect next year, because is what makes GTeX unique, is what makes GTeX incredible, is what gives GTeX the edge compared to a lot of other companies. The fact that we have a community where people can just be there, they don't have to pretend. Go to a lot of other business training companies, it's like, oh, I got this business, I got the other business. No, here you can just be yourself, and people are craving for that, for this authentic community, for something genuine, something that can be part of without wearing any mask, without any filter. And because we will put a lot of filters on the outside anyway. You put a filter on your Instagram pictures, you put filters on your Facebook pictures, you put filter on the things that you write. So everything now becomes filtered on, I want to show you that what I want you to think about me, which is an important part of the marketing in this industry. But at the same time, it creates a sense of, I just want to talk to someone, someone that can understand me. Does it make sense, guys? So focus on community. People are looking for communities to belong to have this deep sense of belonging. It'll make, again, a huge difference. Let's go to point number 8. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Almost there. Point number 8. Before I go, I want to welcome Monica and Angela Rabel. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any question. I'll do a recap at the end of these 10 points. So we have point number 8, point number 9 actually, customer result and reviews over personal stories. Now there is, what do I mean about that? I mean that this industry, because it's so focused on personal brands, a lot of times you talk about your own personal journey to show that you understand the person in front of you. But there is a tendency also to just focus on that particular part, and everything becomes about you. Everything becomes about your journey. Everything becomes about what you say, what you do, and it creates in people's mind the idea of, well, but you can do it, but I can't. You are different than me. So by focusing on reviews, personal, other people's stories, and also putting as part of your marketing not only testimonials or case studies, but literally other people's journey, you will have a different edge. Because if you think about how people buy on Amazon, right now the review culture is huge. People are trained now to look for reviews and buy. This is what was happening before anyway on recommendations. That's why, someone recommended me this, I'm going to buy. So recommendation is still there, but reviews now, it happens at scale. So by getting more and more reviews, genuine reviews of people talking about your business and showcasing them, as many as you can, then you will have a different edge in your marketing, because suddenly you can create something becomes more about your community and not just about you. And that's going to be a big part of the focus on 2020 for us in GTeX. I see other companies that are moving towards that direction. And there is still going to be a place for that personal story, but is in context of what is it that you want to achieve with that. And if I want to showcase the result that we have with our clients, I got to promote more our clients and their results and give them a platform to shine. So that becomes a win-win-win, because they are getting out there, they are getting more known, they are getting more seen, and at the same time we get more credibility and testimonials. So look at the way you market your services. How are you showcasing your clients? How are you creating a platform for your clients to be there? Can be an interview on your Facebook group. Can be monthly awards for like clients of the month, like we are doing. Or can be interviewing your clients on your podcast if you have a podcast or a show. Whatever is there to showcase your clients, that they are going to be excited to be there and to talk about themselves and to talk about you. That's gonna be I think a new trend that we're going to see more and more happening in 2020 because of we talk about on point number 3, the longer sales cycle. People are going to do more research, and point number 2, which is relationship over conversions, and point number 1, which is conversations over automation. So everything now is looking at how can I create more engagement, how can I create more touch points and different touch points for people to see that I'm the right one. Yeah, really excited about this part. And then we have the last one. Which is which is structure over flexibility. Now, let me put it in play. Let me put it into context. There was a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, everyone needed to have a membership site, right? Membership site, check all the content in there. People are going to pay you money, and you're going to be happy and fulfilled for the rest of your life. Now, things have changed. Now there are so many membership sites, and actually the average retention for membership sites are about like 3 months. So now you're doing all this work to get someone to pay you $20 or $40 or $50 or $100, depending on your range, and to actually stay there for 3 months, the majority of them. What does it mean? It means that having something where people are lost in this candy store is not going to help you anymore. It's great to show people that you can have everything in one place. That's how GTeX has been built. It's like we give you everything in one place. But one of the things that we've learned and realized is that people didn't know where to start. And now, because people are going to be more overwhelmed, there is going to be even more information put out there, going to be even more confused. What a lot of time people want, and also we retain them the most, is to give them what we call either an induction plan. So here is a structure where for the first period of time, they are guided step by step through the creation of the program before getting lost into the candy store, if that's what you want. Or just offer this step-by-step support and implementation. Because we're going back to what we were saying before, like 2019, huge year of implementation over information. This year is going to be even more, or we're going to save even more time to people. But what people say is like, I'm getting lost right now. Where do I go first? Where do I go second? Where do I go third? And so how do you communicate to your clients that this is the process? And how do you keep them accountable to the process? Because that's what's going to determine the fact that you will have more case studies, less people dropping out, that you can use more case studies as well to fulfill your marketing, to get more referrals and so on. So this way, if you do this in this way, where you're getting structure over flexibility, but still given an element of flexibility at the same time, you will have a very different competitive edge. Because like, okay, here is everything. Here's a candy store. Enjoy. Brilliant. But first, before you enjoy the candy store, let me give you the candies one by one. And so then you do whatever you want. But they already know the taste of the candies. You know how they taste like. You already know where to find them. You already know how much they cost. You already know how to use them. And so now you can get on your own and still giving after that a level of support and accountability, but can be a bit less structure after they go for the first part. So structure over flexibility, but don't forget about flexibility, because then if you just give too much structure, then you're going to lose a large number of people that they just say, but I just want to check this out because it's interesting to me right now. Right, so you can give that a different element. So these are my 10 predictions. Let me give you +1. Shall I give you +1? Let me know. Do you guys want a +1? Just let me know in the comments. I got a +1, and actually it's not a really good news. But if you don't want to know, then just don't write anything. If you want to know what the +1 is going to be, just give me a comment and write +1 so then I can see it. So what's this +1? Actually, before see if you want to hear the +1, let me just recap this 10 and then we're going to the +1. So first one, conversations over automation, right? Conversation over automation. Number 2, relationships over conversion. Number 3, longer sales cycle for coaching, consulting, and higher end programs. Number 4, shorter sales cycle for resources and save time digital products. Something that people can say yes. You're saving me tons of time right now. You're doing the work for me. Audience building over instant sale. Number 5. Focus on building the top of the audience to get known, to get people to see you, to get people to follow you, so then you have more people to sell to as well. Number 6 is shorter content on the front end and long form content at the back end. So give people great short-term content, short content they can consume in 1 minute or two that can wow them and they can connect with you. Number 7, influencer marketing will be even stronger. So either like becoming an influencer yourself is going to be a huge asset, because once you build your own audience, guess what? Everyone is going to want a piece of you. Like, you will become in demand. These are the people that are in demand. Why they're in demand? Because they got people caring about them. That's what it means to be in demand. You have a lot of people that care about you, they care about what you do. And so if you become an influencer, then you will have as well a lot more opportunities in your field. But as well, you can use other influencers and collaborate with other influencers or people in your field to get to the level and build your audience. Number 8, people looking for communities to belong. Create a community, make them that they feel they are in the right place. Customer results over number 9 is customer results and reviews over personal stories. So create that balance between your personal story and a client review and a client story. 10, structure over flexibility. Yes, structure over flexibility. So create a structured plan for as soon as someone joins, so they're not lost and they're not going to cancel, because people are overwhelmed right now. And then I'm going to give you the +1 then at this point. And the +1 is going to be very tough if you're not known in your field, or if you're not focusing on getting known. It's going to be very tough, because people are going to look for you, and if they don't find anything about you, they're going to go to the person who is more known. And if you don't have a track record of blog posts, of podcasts, of interviews, of events where you've spoken at, it's going to be more difficult. Now, that doesn't have to discourage you if you're starting out, because if you're starting out, now you know that that's going to be your focus. So, okay, that's what I got to build. Got to write some articles. I got to collaborate with other people. I've got to go and speak somewhere or do joint ventures with other people so I can get known and get seen. Because if they don't get known, if you don't get seen first, people will not care about you. If they will not care about you, they will not gonna buy from you. But if you just expect people from buying from you without doing the first 2 steps before, then good luck with that. I wish a fantastic 2020. So make sure you focus that time on nurturing the new audiences, building the new audiences, being there for them, adding the short-term value, adding the short-term content, the long-term content, giving them a community that can belong. And then you will see that actually making sales is not going to be a problem anymore. You will scale to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures. And that's what I believe there's going to be my trend and my predictions for 2020. I would love to know what you think about them. I would love to know which one actually you are going to focus on the more. It's going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I'm going to write an article on this anyway, so then you can have them all in one place. And I would love to know, which one do you think is going to work the most? Which one are you going to focus on as well, based on where the industry is going is 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me. Before I leave, I want to remind you that if you want to work together, if you are ready now in 2020 to become an authority in your field, to get known, to get seen, to make an impact, to launch your product and services, or to grow your audience and become an influencer in your field, then join us, join our courses. Just send me an email at simone@gtex.org.uk. Or if you click the link that there is here in the show notes as well, you can there is a page where you can see all our product and services. So please do that, because 2020 is not going to be different, but do that for you, because 2020 is not going to be different if you don't do something different. A lot of people at the beginning of the year, they say, yeah, 2020 is going to be my year. Yeah. 2019, they said, is going to be my year. Yeah. 2015, they said, is going to be my year. Yeah. And nothing happened. Scared to invest, scared to commit to something, scared to either fail, scared to become more successful. if you let your fears run your life instead of you running your fears and going through them, then you're always going to be stuck at the same point. While we are evolving, we are taking new challenges, we're becoming better people, becoming better business owners, becoming better entrepreneurs. And that's why I want to help you out. Because I know how it is. I mean, we work with more than 500 businesses every single year. And I see that it's not just about business. No, with every person that we work with, it's about them as a person. It's about their dreams, their hopes, their aspiration, their families, the people that they care about. The fact that they want to be seen that they've not wasted this time on this earth. The fact that they want to be seen as actually doing something with their life. The fact that they want to show the world how great they are. The fact that they want to show that there is a, that they are there. That they are there. They're there to stay. They're there to make a difference. And nothing is going to change if you don't make this step. So send me an email at simone@gtex.org.uk. And depending on where you are, we have different programs, whether you're starting out or you're already a six-figure plus, just let me know. And then we're going to find which program is the best for you. If you're a good fit, great, let's work together. If you're not, great, anyway, we had a good chat. That's how we work, because we want to welcome you in this incredible community where you will not only have us, our incredible team, to support you, but also you will have people that genuinely will care about you. They will generally will care about the people that are around you. I mean, we had stories within our community of people that helped other family members because they were in need. One of our clients actually gave a house to my brother, just to give you a very simple idea there, which is Aslam, and he gave a place, a room where my brother was looking for a room. This goes beyond the business training. Now, when we work with people, we work with people. And business training is a part of it. But then there is your life. There is the people that are around you. There is that ongoing commitment and an ongoing support that you have to celebrate when things are going great, and to get that extra boost and extra push where things are not going that great. Because not because you join our programs, life is going to become roses and flowers all of a sudden. No, still going to have challenges. It's just that you're going to be more equipped to face those challenges. You're going to have the right support to face those challenges, and you're going to have the how-tos to face those challenges, which then will help you face those challenges instead of just saying, oh my God, no, that's too big for me. That's too much for me. So send me an email at simone@gtex.org.uk. Or scroll down and register on our expert business checklist, and there you will find as well a way to work with us. All right, thank you very much for joining. Have a fantastic 2020, and I'm looking forward to see you to another next episode of Explode Your Expert Business Show. Ciao.